and welcome back to Call of Cthulu, Deviant Diners. A little early for those of us in Europe, but still ready to go. Before we start, I would like to very quickly thank some of our sponsors, Roll20, which we're using for dice rolls and maps, Tabletop Loot, which we are not using for dice rolls, unfortunately. So Nerdware and Devin Rue, who sponsor and support our channel. Welcome to the Party RPG as a channel has a Patreon that you can join as a patron and give us money for streaming and for Zoom and for keeping tech goblins down, just all together. You can always donate bits and cheers to our players while they're playing. You can either give them a success instead of a failure, or you can give them sanity, which some of them are starting to need a little more than others. We're gonna go around. Before I forget, we have Discord that we use to chat with each other and share pictures of messy desks and in-game artwork. I think we're gonna start our game by introducing our players, after which one of the people who was here last week can give us all a recap. And we'll go clockwise and start with Captain Elliot.
Hi, I'm Simon, or Si, on Discord, at DDarkWeaver on the Twittery things. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I already see a few viewers less than last time, and I know who they are, and it's because I just texted them and they went, crap, it's at 6 today, because we moved our clocks this week, and everyone's confused. Princess Sophia.
You're muted.
No, you're very quiet, not quite muted.
Oh,
I can hear it all.
how about this?
Better for me.
Yeah? Okay. Hi. Once again, I'm Lana. You can find me just about anywhere as Lana Leesvoer, which is Dutch and unpronounceable, so just look here and find me. And I will be playing the Princess Sophia, who is very sane. Thank you very much.
Princess Sophia is doing exceptionally well in sanity rolls. Don't buy her any successes or luck. Or sanity.
Hey, yeah!
Buy one of the other people some help.
Ah, fair.
Just look at who's got the lowest sanity and help them.
Well, not the lowest, but, tied second lowest, Miss McCown.
Hey, I'm Kate, also known as Undead Kate on the interwebs, and I will be playing Irene McCown.
All right. Dr. Roy.
Hey, I'm Callie, or xCalliope, as I am on Twitter. I'll be playing Dr. Roy. You can find me on Twitter. I also just launched a new Patreon page, so if you like to color, if you like coloring books, check that out.
Ooh, very nice. And last but certainly not least, Miss Johnson, who is also muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
So many switches and buttons. Nope.
Nope.
We can see you and you look lovely, but we can't hear a word.
Her bangs are always just so sharp.
Perfect.
Just
I'm
on
convinced
point.
she trims them every week.
Yeah, like maybe even daily. We still can't hear her though.
Check on your actual headset if there's a mute switch on it, maybe? I don't know.
She's
You
just
have
gonna
a-
mime today.
It's a pantomimed
Yeah.
Johnson. Nope.
Well, maybe we can start.
I was just gonna say we'll just skip ahead. I'll quickly introduce myself as Aniek. You can find me at Aniekster on Twitter, where it's mainly art and politics. And I am the keeper for this campaign, which means I get to play with their minds. Now, have you decided amongst each other who will be giving this week's recap?
Irene.
Yeah, I can do it. I'm just like...
There's no reason to point down. She did it last week. But I have a volunteer.
I'll do it. I'm just notes are not wanting to load. Why? Okay. You can do this. I have faith in you.
I believe in you, for one.
That's if I tell my computer.
It needs some encouragement.
Okay, so let's see. Last week we started out in the cellar. We were heading up the stairs. All of the sudden, Billy and Dr. Roy just disappeared on us. Don't know how, don't know why. Let's see. And so we end up going upstairs, discover that, or we go to Miss Lady Dorsey's bedroom, discover that Mr. Sterling is dead and has been dead almost as long as Lady Dorsey. We find a notebook on him, and there's a list with a list of names. Names are Miss Price, Mr. Marquez, Blue, Sterling, and Dorsey. Let's see, Princess Sophia searches the rolling desk. It's super empty. We end up returning to the ballroom. And hey, guess what? Mr. Sterling isn't actually dead. He's playing a game of cards. Captain Elliot no longer has the notebook and gun that he found on the body. We talked to Miss Stone, and she does not even remember going to check the garage with Irene. And then, so essentially things are getting kind of weird, and we decide, hey, we're going to go ahead and check the garage again. And let's do.
Jaime was found drunk.
Yeah, Jaime was found. We decided to go check the garage again, and just Jaime was found drunk. Was it then we found?
We first found that Jaime was drunk, and then we found Mr. Sterling. At least that's what my
Yeah.
Yeah, my notes are everywhere. And what are you doing, Cat? Okay, sorry.
Stream kitty.
Dream cat.
So basically, we end up just going to check the garage again. Cars are still messed up. Mr. Sterling and we go to check the garage. Sorry, and we find the other Princess Sophia and Captain Elliot's servants, essentially. They start to talk, and Miss McCown, myself, and Mr. Sterling sneak off ahead to go talk or go check the car. They have a private conversation that seems very coy, awkward, what have you. We check the car. We all join back up, check the cars, and the cars are still tampered with. Go back into the house. And is that when we hear the? Huh?
Our servants have lost time. They think it's 12 p.m. instead of 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And they really don't understand why it's dark out, so they just lost time.
Yeah. So basically, a lot of timey-wimey weird stuff is happening.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Yes.
You just guessed one of my favorite shows.
I suddenly feel very disadvantaged for not having seen Doctor Who.
You should remedy this.
It's only like 13 seasons to catch up on right now.
You can just
Right.
2009 one.
Before next week, for sure.
13 seasons. It's been going since 1963.
Yeah, I mean, she has 4 more weeks before the grand finale.
You can just we'll start with the reboot. It's fine.
I didn't know that the grand finale. Anyway, shiny objects.
Yes. Anyway, you were recapping.
Yeah. So I believe that's when we go back into the house. Is that when we hear the screaming? Yeah.
I believe so.
I believe so, yeah.
From the kitchen. So we rushed into the kitchen, and one of the maids decided to make tea for all the servants and played with the rock that doesn't play nicely back.
I wouldn't say played, she just touched it, and also
Can't read, apparently.
can't read, so you know,
Yeah.
how the fuck are you gonna read a note if you can't read? Like, they don't exactly have, you know, 99% literacy in 1920s England.
Cheap servants.
Whose fault is that?
Cheap servants. That's what it is.
The aristocracy.
I think it actually, the note had like fallen on the floor or something.
Yeah, you can't get good help.
I don't know.
They keep on disappearing on you.
You poor snobs.
And let's see, that's when the head of the house started going a little mad on us. We started asking him a line of questions, and yeah,
Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Murphy, yes. He started laughing maniacally and told us all that, you know, things are coming and we have no idea what's to come and blah, 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 blah.
And
so
we're
it's
mere mortals.
mere mortals, yes.
Mortals.
Very, very.
Technically accurate.
I was going to say all of which
But
is
yes,
technically accurate.
it is all technically accurate.
That you know of.
Not a single lie was told.
Anique,
Also,
why are-
literacy rate were really high in England in
Yeah.
1920, but better
Yeah.
for men than for women.
also, Anique, why are you not wearing your Guilt is for Mortals t-shirt?
Because I have 3 more weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You haven't even seen my cultist cloak yet.
Yeah, fair.
Oh. So, yeah, Captain Elliot just sprung into action, ended up basically hog-tying him.
Yep.
And drug him out into the dining room where all the servants were. So
Yep.
they're taking that really well. Absolutely love it. And
Most popular guy in town.
yeah, and Irene's a bit suspicious now because that was sketch.
Yep.
That's very scary.
Yeah.
I did an excellent evil cultist laugh. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was very maniacal. Loved it. I think that's basically the gist of it.
No.
No,
because
wait, no, the dog. Oh yeah, we went to go back up the stairs.
And my maid. And my maid.
And your maid disappeared again.
Yeah.
God.
So yeah.
What were we doing? This is very stupid. What were we doing when we lost them? I can really remember the fact that
We
we
were
lost
going
them.
back upstairs.
Have you looked under the bed?
Honestly,
No,
if the
upstairs
dog is
first.
gone, I feel like Princess Sophia is gonna die.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
trying to
yeah.
remember. Yeah,
We were
your
going
rolls were really good with the dog,
Oh,
but
we were going to check his room. We were going to check Mr. Murphy's room.
yes,
And
that's
we were
right.
on the stairs, and then my maid and dog were gone.
Yep,
Again.
again.
You really should learn to keep track of your people. Before Princess Sophia drives to my house to murder me in real life.
Tomorrow, right?
That's tomorrow. You're playing 10 Candles tomorrow. I'll still kill you tomorrow as well. That's what you get for having me as your DM.
I'm the best at
Can we-
recaps, by the way.
You
You
are.
are.
It was very,
A group effort.
very, very short, to the point. No cat herding. Can we hear
Point of
Miss
order.
Johnson? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't. Can you hear me?
yes, we
Yay!
can.
All right.
Quick, tell us who you are and what you do.
So I am Jenna. I play Billy Johnson, an archaeologist in the game. I am Philly Girl JL on Discord, Twitter, and Instagram. So you can check me out.
All right. Now, I make it a point to end each episode on a cliffhanger, which again is what we did last week. But that's actually not where I want to pick it up right now. I would like to pick it up with 2 other people, namely Dr. Roy and Miss Johnson. You are on the stairs, heading up. And as you head up, you reach a small landing, conveniently still circled purple on the map from last time. As you reach the landing, there's a small door in front of you. Dr. Roy is the first to reach that door. And as you look behind you, even though that's not where she was walking before, Miss Johnson is directly behind you.
Miss Johnson, are you all right?
Yes, I seem to be.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to the rest of the group.
Captain Elliot, Princess Sophia, Miss McCown. No.
No response.
Right. Well, we seem to have gotten separated somehow. They're very sneaky people. I suppose we should just try and find them.
Yes, that seems like a good idea. I mean, I guess we could search the rooms as well while we're looking for them.
Right. Let us do so then. Why don't you, no, not to be forward, but this seems very strange. Give me your hand. I don't want to lose you as well.
Okay.
If it would make you feel better, I can hold you at your wrists.
No, that's cool. We should stay together. So I guess if we hold on to each other.
I think Dr. Roy's hands are clammy, cold right now. He's trembling a little bit.
Okay.
Considering the day you've had, that's entirely valid.
Yes.
Is Dr. Roy still going to go first and open the door?
Yes, yeah.
And a quick reminder for me, your poor scatterbrained DM, are either of you armed right now?
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Roy has two weapons, a right jab and a mean left hook.
Billy has a revolver, like a small revolver.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that's still tucked away somewhere, right?
It's tucked. No, wait.
No, she pulled it out. She pulled it out.
Yeah,
I don't know if she kept it out on the stairs or if you're like putting it away while you're traversing.
I will tuck it away now.
Yeah, because they all pointed it at Miss McCown as she came down the stairs.
Yep.
Right.
Like, sorry.
That went surprisingly well.
Yeah, Dr. Roy's got Miss Johnson's hand in his left hand, and he's got his right fist balled up.
Okay. You open the door to the hallway. And it's a hallway.
Dr. Roy peeks his head out and says, Captain Elliot? Princess Sophia? Miss Stone? No? Fantastic. We seem to be alone. Perhaps they're further down the hall, Miss Johnson, shall we?
We should continue on.
Yeah, they continue on down the hallway. Are there doors like flanking on either side, or?
Yeah, the map is pretty accurate. You have a door to your left, a door to your right, another door to your right, two ahead, and then another small alcove to your left that has another two doors available for your perusal.
Okay. Should we just start it? Are any of the doors locked? We can try the first door.
Which ones are you trying? Oh, there's also a door behind you and the one you just came out of.
I'll start the one on my right.
Start with the one on your right. Okay.
Yeah.
You open the door. It seems to be less of a regular bedroom and more like an upstairs sitting area. There is nobody inside, but the door was just open.
Is there any like a desk or any furniture in the room?
There's a small, like a writing table, not so much a full-size desk.
Okay.
A fireplace that's currently not lit. It's actually quite dark up here.
Okay.
and a decorative suit of armor.
Okay.
Probably
Um,
Arthurian.
Does the suit of armor have a sword or shield with it, or is it just armor?
It has both a sword and like one of those. I don't know what the official term is. So I'm gonna get crucified on the internet, but it's like a tower shield.
That's a kind of shield, so I would expect that. Yeah, Dr. Roy is going to try and yank that
You
sword.
can refer to yourself by your first name. I'm sure you're very well acquainted with yourself.
So informal among Dr. Roy's going to try and get that sword loose real fast.
Oh, can I have a dexterity check, please?
Dexterity, not raw strength?
Well, it's not that stuck.
Okay, dexterity, and that's the green die, correct?
Yes.
Every week I need you to remind me.
This is fine. When I played Call of Cthulhu Online, I had a post-it under my screen that said the green one.
The green one, yeah, there you go.
You'd be surprised how many of my notes are on post-it notes. That is a failure. So as you walk up to this suit of armor, it's actually it's probably not as well maintained as when they were using it, but at least someone is polishing this. And grabbing the sword is actually quite an easy task. And as you're admiring this rather impressive broadsword, you fail to notice that you've knocked over the helmet of the suit of armor as it comes crashing down on your head. It's on this nice little pedestal, and it's actually quite loud as it sort of bounces off into the ground, into the darkness. I'm not sure if Miss Johnson is laughing at you, but I would be.
I might chuckle softly.
Right.
So congratulations, you have a headache and a sword.
Cool. Is it, this is going to examine it a little bit. Is it sharp at all or just pointy?
It's mainly pointy. It's not very sharp. It's very shiny, but they clearly like silver brushed it and not so much actually sharpened it.
Right, well, I could use it at least as a blunt object. He like grips it in his hand. All right, shall we continue?
Yes, let's go to the next room.
Get the one across the hallway from us.
There's either one to the left, but directly across is more of a pantry, and directly across is the room is the door you came out of.
Okay, I see. Okay, so just.
And I have tokens, but I don't think I can get them to work properly. No, I'll figure it out sometime.
Maybe just like the next one down on the right.
The next one down on the right is, if we're skipping like the other half of this sitting area, you get to another small hallway.
Okay. Go down that small. Dr. Roy's just going to look at Miss Johnson. What? I don't know. What?
I guess I say we finish the other rooms up here.
Right.
First,
all right.
Before we go down any extra hallways.
All right. So they just.
Yeah, you'd assume from what you've seen of the layout of the house so far that down this hallway is one of the other master bedrooms. But that would have a little either study or bathing area attached, which is why it has. Yes, we see your pizza. It has either a little study or like a little bathroom attached, which is why they have this little hallway.
Okay. Just gonna peek in.
It's indeed a small changing room, bath area, and then a very large master bedroom with a little balcony.
Princess Sophia, Captain Elliot, Ms. McCown. No, all right.
It is. Make me. What kind of check would I make you make for this? So many options.
So many options.
Can I just have a straight intelligence check?
Sure.
Nice.
Miss Johnson can also make this intelligence check.
I'm a smart man.
Sure.
Well, you are a doctor.
Intelligence.
I got lots.
Wait, where's
Intelligence.
intelligence?
It's right in the top
It's
right.
up with the correct
Characteristics in the top right-hand corner of
Oh,
your
I
character
see.
sheet.
Gotcha.
Oh, that is a mean word because you're used to seeing character, but suddenly you have to do it weirdly.
Yeah.
Another success. Well
Yes.
done. As you're walking around and checking out all these rooms, you know that all of these rooms were being used by people, at least between dinner and the surprise and getting changed. And there's no luggage, there's no change of clothes, there's no servants. Even considering that every room should have been in use today, it looks a little dusty. It looks like people haven't been here recently.
Well, this is odd. I mean, these rooms were all full and now they're empty. Something really weird is going on here.
This is quite strange. I do believe that someone was up here, yes, during dinner or after dinner. Well, that's fine. Perhaps they just packed up the things in the commotion. Shall we continue?
Sure. Let's check out the rest
I
of
think
the
he's
rooms.
gripping your hand a little too tight.
I can like wince and like try and pull my hand out.
He's a very strong man, so
Very-
yeah, you can actually feel your bones move a little.
Apologies, Miss Johnson. I don't know my own strength sometimes.
No problem. I mean, I'm confused and nervous as well. So
Right. Yeah, so they're just gonna keep going to the next room on the right.
Okay. Out the regular. If you go out the next door, you come in straight into the big hallway instead of the narrow one, and then the next one to the right is what you know as Lady Dorsey's room, which is empty.
That's where we put her corpse, right?
Yes, it's also
And-
where the previous group found another corpse.
This is Lady Dorsey's room, is it not? It's empty.
yeah, what happened to the bodies?
Oh no, I don't like this at all.
There's no body. There's no like bloody cheats. That even though you know Dr. Roy had to do quite a lot of trying to stop the bleeding. Miss Johnson had a look in her bathroom while this was all going on. There's nothing in there compared to last time when you found all kinds of little pills and powders and lipsticks and things that probably still contained lead and arsenic.
Ooh,
Um,
Maria, you say. Oh, well,
Does it look like anything's been disturbed? Like, is the bed perfectly made and all that?
The bed is made. There's actually a fine layer of dust on everything.
Okay.
So if both of you would like to make me a sanity check.
love that for us.
Oh no.
Guess I'll
Oh
die.
no.
Oh no, that's a
Wow.
bad roll.
That was very close to a fumble. You got to be very lucky there. Oh, I am very sorry.
And that
Ouch.
subtracts from our
Ouch.
sanity
Not sorry.
total, correct?
No.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Also, an additional warning to all of my players. We're at the halfway point of the campaign. And I'm sure it's not in any official rulebook, but it's the way I like to play this game. As of today, sanity saving throws are safe for half.
Oh,
Wait,
joy.
what? Oh.
They're what? I'm sorry?
Save for
Safe
half.
for half damage, not safe for no damage. I mean, you both failed, so it's currently not very relevant. Lana, we're on the internet. Children could be watching this. Please behave. So be warned.
I will not be asking for any more sanity checks.
Don't worry, I will remind you.
Oh, by doing my best to avoid them, frankly.
Call of Cthulhu is one of the few games where you're like, oh, I hope I fail this listen check. I don't want to hear what's coming.
Dr. Roy just sits down and closes his eyes for the rest of the dinner.
That's fine. I can still get you on the floor. But yeah, you're both starting, considering your roles and mine, looking at this room that you've seen. There were like a dozen people in here running around. There was a woman bleeding on the floor. There were soiled sheets. There was a maid hyperventilating in a corner. It is dark. It is cold. There is an undisturbed layer of dust, and the bed is perfectly made.
I think Dr. Roy grips Miss Johnson's hand in his and says, "We've got to get down. Let's go downstairs. We have to know what's going on here." And I think he's gonna try and like rush through the hallway and go downstairs.
Okay. Miss Johnson's cool with this?
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess run a little to keep up because he's pulling on my.
You have to take 2 steps for every one of his.
But I'm like, I agree. We should get back to the rest of the group because this is really weird and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. All right. You rush across the hallway. Your footsteps are more echoing than you've noticed before, but as you get to the door that leads to the small hallway to the stairs, you get to the stairs and you can just start heading down.
We do so.
Right. Now, as for the other three, remind all of us what you were doing when I last left you.
We're just happy to be here.
Trying to console Princess Sophia for having just lost her dog again.
Mm-hmm.
My dog and my maid. I do care about people a little bit.
Some of them.
Sometimes.
Provided they have you. Never mind. All right, you're consoling Princess Sophia.
We just found them and now they're gone again. I don't know what's happening.
I think that we should go. Where are we now? We
on the servants' stairs.
Have we gone through Mr. Murphy's room yet?
No,
you never even got there.
Nope.
We've got to. We need more information.
Also, I said I wasn't gonna ask for it, but if I lose,
you
my
really
dog
do need
again,
a sanity check. I figured I'd give you 5 minutes to run around and look under desks and things, but no.
We're on a stairwell and they're gone.
It is.
Okay, they came back once, they'll come back again. They came back once, they come back again.
You only take 5 points of sanity damage as you talk yourself away from the ledge.
They came back once.
Honestly, if I institute this rule, I should really stop rolling like this.
Yeah,
you are killing it on these rolls.
We're going to be dribbling messes very soon.
Come back again. She'll be fine. She came back once. She'll come back again.
Princess Sophia is muttering to herself as you're trying to deal with her.
We'll be fine. This is all just elaborate prank.
Okay, well, whilst the princess is pulling herself together, I'm going to move towards Mr. Murphy's room and open the door.
All right. It is a servant's room.
I'm going to now... Reeves, come and help me. We are thoroughly tossing this room.
Yeah.
I'm going and looking under his bed, throwing the sheets back, pulling all the drawers out, everything. I'm going through this thing with a fine-tooth comb.
Okay. Make a spot hidden check.
Hard success.
Nicely done. It's mainly because Reeves is helping you. When you say we're tossing this room, he knows what you mean. So he does grab his knife, cuts open the mattress.
Yeah.
Desks are being, he's not only checking the drawers, he's getting the drawers out, turning them upside down.
Yeah.
Hitting the bottom, see if there's a false bottom anywhere.
Me too. We're both doing this.
This room is just getting wrecked.
I don't think Mr. Murphy's going to mind.
I think it matches his state of mind. You find a little notebook, and you find a nice-looking necklace.
Okay.
At least out of things that stand out. The rest seems to be very regular.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do.
Run-of-the-mill servant crap.
I'm going to mention to Princess Sophia and Miss McCown, who I believe are still with me.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, I'm here.
Indeed.
I found this notebook, and I found this necklace, both of which seem to be rather out of place. And I'm going to start reading the notebook.
Can I appraise the necklace?
Yeah. Yes, you can appraise the necklace, and as you start reading the notebook, it seems to be in some kind of cipher.
Okay.
I know what this necklace is.
This necklace is if you wanted to sell it to someone, you'd probably have to pay them to take it.
This is fake.
It is shitty. It looks poorly crafted. It's on a bit of leather string.
Is there like a symbol or?
Point of order. The leather string, does it match the leather strap I found in the desk of Lady Dorsey?
Come to think of it, yeah, it kind of does.
Haha!
Oh,
it's like a grayish soapstone, and it looks like someone tried to clay like some kind of oversized cephalopod, but failed.
What's a cephalopod?
Multi-limbed creature like a squid.
Things like octopi and squid and kraken and stuff. Generalized squid.
Mm-hmm.
No, the booklet is like in a cipher.
Okay.
It's probably, considering the time you spent in the war, you're pretty sure it's a skip cipher, but you don't know the value of the skip.
Okay. In which case, then what we're going to do is I'm going to say I found this. I think we should go back to the dining room, so the ballroom where everybody else is, and just see if we can't decipher it.
We keep going up and down and up and down and up and down. Don't we have to just look through the other servants' rooms as well?
I would actually suggest we do.
If you wish to do so, I'm happy to do so.
Well, it's just we've been up and down these stairs so many times, and we seem to lose people every time we do.
Speaking of which, can I have listen checks?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm far too involved with myself to listen to anyone else.
Story of your life.
I hear things.
You hear like people clomping on the stairs, but like loudly and hurriedly.
Someone's coming up the stairs. Well, multiple someones are coming up the stairs.
You're not sure if they're going up or down, but it sounds a little bit like a 300-pound man is stampeding, at least.
And someone in heels, maybe.
And someone in heels trying to keep up with him, maybe.
I recognize those footsteps. I'm going to call out Dr. Roy.
Dr. Roy, you hear someone calling your name, but it's from back up the stairs where you were before when it was empty and creepy.
Do I recognize the voice?
It's probably Captain Elliot, but it sounds kind of far away.
Captain Elliot? Princess Sophia? Did you hear that, Miss Johnson?
Yes.
Yes, hello.
We're up here.
Yeah, we go towards the sound of their voices, I think, right?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Sure.
Back up the stairs. This time when you get to the landing because you're still on the servant stairs. This time when you get to the landing, the lights are on. It's not that dark. It's not that cold. It's not that dusty. Looks, for a very roomy definition of normal, it almost looks normal.
You see them?
I think if you keep shouting, they can find their way to his room.
Dr. Roy will burst into the room like a bull in a china shop.
Dr. Roy, Miss Johnson, we decided we were going to stick together. We keep on losing people. Could you please stay with the group?
Where did you go?
Where did you go?
We were in the
Didn't
house.
go anywhere.
We were right here. Everything was
Yeah.
empty. Is
The
Lady
whole
Johnson
time.
corpse
What do you
is
mean?
gone?
What?
Empty?
It was
The
all
rooms
empty.
were all empty. They were dusty, and it didn't look like anybody had been staying there. And, there was no luggage, nothing. No
Lady
evidence.
Dorsey's corpse was gone.
Was it dark outside?
I don't know about outside.
It was. I
So
think it was dark outside.
So it was the same time, maybe, but not the same day? That can't be.
I mean,
We are
something really weird is
Covering
just going
things. Yes, things are not quite what they seem around here. That much we know because of Mr. Sterling.
What happened to Mrs. Sterling?
Yes. Well, we found Mr. Sterling dead, and then we found him alive.
In that order.
Yes.
Which was kind of good for Mr. Sterling.
Yes. And also bodes well, I guess. Also, we lost my maid again, but she popped up once, so she'll pop up again. And you came back as well, so I think everything will turn out well.
Something very strange is going on here.
Yes. This is really strange.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually Dr. Roy.
Yeah. I'm
Dr. Obvious, I'm sorry.
It's Dr. Obvious. I have an MD.
I'm the captain.
No, he's the captain. I'm the doctor.
I feel like I need a sanity roll for these jokes.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm funny.
I'm going to say, look, Mr. Murphy, who's head of household, flipped out. So we came up to search his room. I found this notebook, and I found this necklace, which has got a symbol on it. Perhaps we should go.
It's a fake. It's not worth anything, but it's like squiddy.
It has a cephalopody type of symbol upon it.
Well, may I see the notebook?
Absolutely. I believe that it's a skip cipher, but I'd need more time to work on it.
This is hard. Callie, am very good at ciphers. Can I make a roll to see if Dr. Roy is?
I love it when they come to me to beg. Let me see. Dr. Roy, where's your character sheet? I think
I don't really see. Honestly, I don't know why he would be.
I don't see anything in your skills that would make it.
Yeah.
Very
no reason.
I see nothing in your background. I think
nothing.
if we're going on backgrounds, Captain Ellion's gonna be the one.
Yeah, for military.
Gonna be all over this.
I believe I recognize what type of cipher it is, but I'd need some time to work on it to figure it out.
Right. In the meantime, you said that someone had flipped out, as you put it.
Mr. Murphy has gone rather.
You were there, Dr. Roy, weren't you? Were you not?
No, I don't remember that.
You left us already.
Yeah, Mr. Murphy was acting incredibly strangely, and I had to restrain him.
If I were more religious, I would say he was possessed by a demon.
Lord. Well, Miss Johnson.
He was restrained, I hope. I think we
Where
did.
Where did you leave him?
With the other servants, tied up.
They're gonna
I trust them.
Are you sure they're not going to release them?
Well, we tried our best to see who was trustworthy, and I pulled the royal card. It usually pulls people into compliance.
It's a very good card to pull.
They left Mr. Hobbs standing guard over him.
Mm.
We were just going to.
Oh, and we found Jaime as well.
Yes, we did.
Oh, fantastic.
He is very drunk and alive.
Well, I'll have to give him an old boxing on the air later, but I'm glad that he is alive and not insane.
Indeed. Well, as far as mental state, we've got no idea. He was completely passed out from the booze, but that may have been as a reaction to something that he.
Captain Elliott's gone a
Weird
little
things
robotic.
have been happening.
Oh, there he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Still here.
Well, shall we continue our investigation? Have you finished searching all of the rooms?
We were just getting to that.
Oh, real fast. Keeper, do I still have a sword in my hand?
Yes.
Good question.
You did
Excellent.
come storming into a room
With a
with
sword.
a giant broadsword, and so far, no one
No
has
one's
said a
commented.
thing.
I've got Miss Johnson in one hand and a sword in the other. We're good.
Yep. It's just another dinner party in the English countryside, you know.
Dr. Roy,
Hmm.
not to say anything, but that's a new piece of gear you've acquired?
Well, he holds up first the hand that has Miss Johnson's hand in it. And then he goes, I was quite frightened earlier. There's a suit of armor. She's armed, I think, but I'm not. I mean, I'm armed, but I'm not armed.
Brief gun show.
Yes.
Roll for guns. Well, I
Thought it
don't...
would be prudent to have self-defense of some sort.
That's very smart thinking. Now, shall we search the other servants' rooms?
Yes.
Yes.
And let's stay together,
Yes.
shall we? Let's
Please.
try.
He's not
Yes.
letting go of Miss Johnson's hand. He's still
I was just about to say, tell me what staying together looks like. Are we daisy chaining hands, or are we what? Standing close together? Is there rope involved?
Reeves is like next to me. I'm not losing my man again.
I'm just imagining like the Scooby-Doo gang like
Yeah,
creeping
same.
Yeah.
the hall.
Where they like peek through doors, like one on top of the other.
Yes.
But then down the hallway, you see a door open, and it's you peeking around it.
Like,
Yes.
"Oi,
Spooky.
I don't know what's going on this.
Okay.
Cheapers, mister. Yeah. Okay, you're Scooby ganging your way across this amazing country estate.
All right.
Any particular order? Any room you want to focus on?
Probably
Like
Literally-
literally only the heads of household. So Mr. Murphy and Miss Emerson have rooms here. The rest are in a different building, which you were informed of earlier, because there are
Okay.
several buildings on the
Yes.
grounds.
Okay, we're not going to another building. We're
Okay.
staying in this
No.
building.
But-
And we'll search Miss Emerson's room, though, whilst we're here.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, if the heads of house are involved in
And-
something.
I'm particularly looking for really cheap necklaces.
Duly noted. Roll me spot hiddens.
all of us.
Everyone who is searching this room. If you're standing around looking pretty, you don't get to roll.
I'm
Well,
going to use a
have a
couple of points
passive
of luck
pretty.
to make that a success.
All right. Ooh, Miss Johnson
Ooh.
is
Wow.
doing very well.
Who knew that archaeologists were really good at looking for things?
It's almost like they're trained in this or something
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
Captain Elliot spent 2 luck points to make this a general success.
Yep.
And you find most of her day-to-day stuff. You do find in the back of the closet, like a little... I shouldn't say little, because it's actually rather large. You find an item of man's clothing. Even though this is Miss Emerson's room.
Oh.
Miss
Scandal.
Johnson, on the other hand, like, you're halfway down the wardrobe, people are lifting up beds. Miss Johnson notices one of the floorboards seems to be loose.
I'm going to bend down and see if I can, open it. Is it like, I'm going to see if I can get it out so that I can see if there's anything underneath.
You certainly can.
All right. And is there like a hole, or is it like it's like a cubby space?
It's like someone used the fact the floorboard was loose to make a little storage area.
Okay. I want to see what's inside. Is there anything in there?
It is, if you're just looking at it, it is very, very, very dark.
Okay.
I also had a hard
Does
success,
anyone-
if that helps.
You notice what Miss Johnson is doing and has found. It does look like I'm trying to mind my words so we don't get so many dirty jokes this time, but it's just a black hole.
Same.
I could use.
I want to reach in and see if there's like
So
Okay.
you're reaching into the hole?
She reaches her hand
Yeah.
deep into the hole.
Just checking.
And you find people really seem to like writing things down around here. You find a little notebook.
Okay. I want to pull
It
it
has
out.
it has like a leather cover.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it out.
Okay.
Is
It's,
is the room dark? Like how dark is the room that we're in?
No,
searching?
this area isn't that dark. You've
Okay.
I'm assuming you had lanterns, I believe, that you're bringing around, so you're okay on light. Ever since the cellar, you've had some light with you.
Yeah.
It's like a leather journal, and it's closed with some string.
Okay.
There's no notable markings on the cover.
Okay. So no name or engraving or anything.
Not on the outside, no.
All right.
Open it up, Miss Johnson. What's in it?
All right. Well, let's see. I was just looking to see if there are any clues first. But okay. I open it up. You know, untie the string, open it up to the first page.
Princess Sophia's very much crowding your space.
She's like her head's like right
Yeah,
here.
she's very tall, so that's easy enough to do. If you just open it to the first page, you see a name inscribed, and the part that catches your attention is that it says Anatole.
It says
Wasn't that
Anatole.
a cook?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
I guess this is his diary or journal. Let's see what's in it. Oh no.
We did learn that Anatole was making up stories about seeing things.
And given
Wow.
the weird things that have happened to us recently, it may be perhaps that Anatole was just a previous taste of what we've had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Well, let's see if he wrote anything down. I want to start flipping pages.
Okay, I think for now the conclusion is that Anatole wrote everything down. He is very much some immigrant dude who is in England who doesn't have enough friends. He's very much a Dear Diary kind of journal writer. So there's a lot of today at the market, blah, 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 blah. And then stuff about how the staff is arguing. But if you skip more towards the end, which I assume is the part you're interested in.
Yes.
You start reading more. His sentences become more disjointed, and the entries become more fragmented. And he talks about how he left his sister behind in their home country, but suddenly she was here and then she wasn't. Or how he saw his old grandmother in a mirror, but she wasn't behind him when he turned around. Also, there's an old man he keeps seeing around.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Captain Elliot, you thought you heard your sister, who can't be here.
Yes.
Anatole had the same experience, and he also saw the person you might have seen, Miss McCown.
The older gentleman.
The older gentleman?
Yeah. Who I'm beginning to suspect may be Lord Dorsey.
Or was Lord Dorsey?
That was my thoughts.
If there's some kind of weird thing happening with time, since he used to be here, that would make some kind of sense.
I don't want to sound crazy, but time not being okay is less unbelievable than ghosts to me. So I'd rather believe that time is a bit on a loop. Or not on a loop, but loopy.
Jenna, can I have another intelligence check?
Good luck.
Fingers crossed for smart people.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nicely done.
Oh,
As you get to the part of the journal where everything's fragmented and disjointed and he starts seeing things, you get the idea to start reading back a bit and see if you can find a moment where it started.
okay.
And it's actually, interestingly enough, there is a moment between, like, first he gets a little crazy, and then for a while he seems almost normal,
Okay.
and then he goes a little crazy again.
When does he
Guys,
first
this
go crazy?
journal is like really, really weird. I mean, he seems okay, and then he's got crazy writing, and then he seems okay, and it's some more crazy writing. I have no idea what's going on with him.
What was the date when he first started to go a bit loopy?
And also, don't forget that the journal we found in the cellar said, "I understand now," and seemed calmer towards the end.
Yes.
True.
The first time he started writing about crazy stuff, sorry, closing the window before I freeze to death, which
No
is
problem.
bad quality in a keeper. There. First time he went a little crazy was almost, I don't know, 4 years ago.
Right.
What is
but it was very brief.
And then there was a period of time when he
And then it was a
appeared
period of time where he
relatively normal.
relatively normal, and then I think it was about 8 months ago he started going off the rails again.
Okay. Does he mention anything in the diary at the time that he's going loopy for the second time? Something in particular weird that happened?
Make me a spot hidden check. Or an intelligence check, whichever is highest. Or your character.
Oh, for crying out loud. No.
Can I try too, as I was looking at the journal?
You are reading along, yes.
Yes. So, spot hidden or intelligence, you said?
Intelligence.
Yep, whichever one's better for you.
Your intelligence is probably higher.
I am
Usually.
very intelligent.
Yeah, so it's my
Like I said, part of the problem is that he writes everything down, so there's a lot of scanning through mundane bullshit, and you get the idea that Captain Elliot is getting a little distracted, trying to find too many connections. Whereas you notice that both times near where he goes a little crazy, he writes about Lady Dorsey having some kind of moment or event that has something to do with her father's legacy. The first time is some kind of handoff from what's the English word?
Say it in Dutch, I'll know it.
Notaris? Is it just a notary?
Notary.
Just
yeah.
a notary? That seems too simple.
No, it is.
Okay, she gets the notary visit, and after that, not just him, but other things in the house seem to go a little crazy. And then things settle down, and then up to about 8 months ago, 2 gentlemen from the same office stopped by again.
Does it says anything about them bringing something?
Just that they're carrying their regular briefcases, and that he was super annoyed because one of them refuses to eat fish.
Does it mention which offices or company that they're from?
It does not.
Okay.
You get the feeling Anatole didn't really care about that.
No, but
Like I said, he's far more upset that he made an amazing fish dinner, fresh everything, and he wouldn't even taste it.
So I'll share with the group what I've seen, and I'll say, it doesn't make sense to me that Lady Dorsey would have been told something, and that Anatole would have been influenced by this. But maybe they brought something? I mean, we did found a shard that hurts people. Maybe there was something that made him see things.
And there was that artifact mentioned that Lady Dorsey was supposed to be revealing tonight.
Claire!
Yes, but I haven't seen anything artifacty. Miss Johnson, I think you would, when you see something interesting artifacty, you would recognize it, no?
Yeah, I have not seen anything.
Wasn't it mentioned that artifact had spent some time at the Smithsonian?
Yes, they were, what was it? Examining it. But how could an artifact, or anything for that matter, make the cook see things? I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here.
Well, I mean, a rock has hurt people, so...
certain substances have hallucinogenic effects as well.
Yes. Yeah, there could be something on the rock that is causing people to, go crazy or see things or lose time.
Well, maybe I'm crazy, but if Lady Dorsey was unveiling something and everything weird is happening right now, there must be a thing that's doing this.
That makes sense.
Well, nothing makes sense here, but if we're going with this weird stuff, I might as well.
Well, the thing that I would suggest is that perhaps Mr. Slater downstairs might know more about what these gentlemen's business was.
Well, if you want to go, we have searched the rooms now. We found things. I think we
perhaps ought to go and press him for answers.
Well, that's very fair, but I think we should be careful about touching interesting things. I don't know.
On the basis of what happened last time, I would completely agree with you.
How is your finger? Is the black stuff spreading? Keeper? Is the black stuff spreading?
A little bit, but very slowly.
Dr. Roy, could you take a look at this? Because the captain touched a thingy and got hurt, and now it looks like this. And one of the maids also touched it, and her hand looked all black and burned and weird. So, there.
Absolutely.
Do your thing,
Captain.
I'll show him my finger.
Present the finger.
Hold my finger. What? Make a medicine check.
Cat's hurting horror. Yes. Medicine, please.
I'll spend luck points on that.
You will?
I'll spend 8 luck points, yeah.
It looks like severe frostbite.
Oh, this is very strange, Captain. It appears as though you've been frostbitten. Have you been sticking your finger in snow?
Not recently.
For hours.
We just touched the rock, the shard.
I haven't put my fingers in anything that cold, well, for a very long time.
Wow, this is a severe case of frostbite, which I, as a doctor, know the treatment to be. Callie, don't know what the treatment for frostbite is, but I'm sure
by the time it's turning black, you're talking amputation.
Yes, you're going to have to just.
That's like even current day. By the time it's turning black,
I'm afraid you've lost the finger at this point, and
finger.
If it is spreading, you're going to want to get rid of it now before it goes to your hand. Frostbite's not supposed to spread like that unless you keep it cold.
Well, do you have the tools to do something like that?
Well, I do.
And I'll wait until it hits the first joint, and then I'll make that decision.
And you let me know when I should pull out my tourniquet and bone saw, and we can get that taken care of. But
yes, do I roll to faint or something?
that that would be a Constitution check to see if you can handle this.
I will, because I am.
Like, you have hunted before, but you've never discussed chopping off someone's finger, you know, after weird frostbite. But you're kind of okay. You're not sure what's going to happen when it happens, and you're there.
You should drink some water, princess. You should drink some water.
Bit of lemon, bit of water. She'll be fine.
Bit of lemon, yes.
To be fair, most of this went horribly wrong when people tried to make tea.
Yes, Captain. Keep it warm for now, I suppose. Maybe that'll help stopping it spread. Keep it under, under your arm, or
don't keep it.
Shove it in a pocket.
Do that. Don't.
Oh, no,
you would know better than that. I don't.
Look, it's the 1920s. The doctors give all the best advice.
Like put it over a candle and roast it. Put some gloves on. Take a bath. You've got to take a bath. My absolute prescription for you to take a bath, and then put a leech
somewhere warm.
Yes, take a bath, all right. And then while you're in the bath, you put a leech right on the finger, and then frostbite out.
Point of order: leeches and maggots would actually be great for this.
Great.
Yeah,
dead serious. Maggots would be
great
great for this.
So maggots take away the dead skin. Leeches.
Yeah, this is the real Dr. Roy talking.
Yeah.
If you put a leech on the top and you make it connect to like the bottom, the leech can actually pull blood through the area of the finger that is currently not getting any blood, because they also have really cool enzymes that make it all dilute and very cool.
I saw someone who had a frostbitten nose who got it saved by leeches. It was really weird.
Leeches and maggots, man, they're amazing.
They are.
Would I have a jar of leeches in my doctor bag, considering it's the 1920s?
Yeah, you probably would.
Yeah?
Like next to the tourniquet and the whiskey, you'd probably have a jar of leeches. I don't think you'd have maggots, because you can actually get sterile maggots in this era, but you would have leeches.
Captain Elliot, I have leeches in my bag. I could get it to, you see, it sucks the blood through the, don't worry.
Really?
Very technical medical babble you wouldn't understand, but I could put a leech on you, and perhaps that would help. Otherwise, take it off. That's my.
Would you like a leech or an amputation?
Or a glass of water.
Or water.
A glass of water, a leech, or an amputation. Or all of them.
Or possibly a bath.
You're going to drink some water. You're going to then take a bath and then leech it. And if that doesn't help, then we amputate it. Escalating.
Okay.
Such a sound plan of attack. This is great.
Trust me, I'm a doctor. It's just not my fault that it's 1920. And medicine is whiskey and bullshit at this point. That's not my fault.
You're filling me with so much confidence in your profession, dear daughter.
Just whatever you do, don't drown or they will blow smoke up your ass.
This is also very true.
I had a colleague actually that's currently shooting electrified water up people's he looks around at the women in the room, anal cavity at the moment to cure all kinds of ailments.
What's your language?
It is a technical term.
It's a technical term. It's anatomy, dear Princess Sophia. We've all got an anal cavity. And
yes, I would like you to keep your anal cavity to yourself.
Well, so much for feminism.
Anyway, Captain Elliot, that's my prognosis.
How right at this time our viewership went down by a person? So come on. You have offended someone so bad they quit watching.
It's true though. It's true.
We are a very serious Call of Cthulhu stream.
Yes,
I tell you what, Dr. Roy, I promise you that as soon as I get out of this poxy house and out of here, I will get a leech applied to the end of it.
Of course, and if that doesn't work, you can always run by, when we get out of all this, run by my clinic, and I'm sure that I'll be able to treat it properly.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Because we will get out of this, old sport.
I'm very much hoping so. I would be terribly upset if this was
terminal.
Yes.
Unwinnable scenario?
Yeah. I don't believe in unwinnable scenarios.
Miss Johnson, shall we continue searching the servants'
Yes.
quarters. Yes.
No,
Well,
we've
I think we're
done
finished. I
them.
think we're going back
That's it.
down
It's
to
just
the
the
dining
heads
room
of
to get some-
household.
Back to the dining room.
Right. All right.
All right.
Well, no,
Dirty
back to the
cats.
ballroom.
Yep.
Dining
Back to the
room, ballroom. I'm hearing a lot of
Ballroom.
things, guys. Where are you going?
Ballroom.
Back to the
ballroom.
ballroom. The ballroom.
All right.
Always life room.
You head down the stairs, very much filled with confidence after Captain Elliot assures you he does not do no-win scenarios and everything will, in fact, be fine.
Dun, dun,
You-
dun.
Enter the ballroom.
Alina, Freddie.
Nope, yeah, you do have Miss Stone, the Montgomerys, and Mr. Sterling.
How does Edna look? Has she been winning?
Edna is currently no longer wearing the necklace you lent her,
Edna,
which seems to be on the table in front of Mr. Sterling.
hello, Mrs. Sterling. Edna. Edna, can I talk to you for 1 second?
When you lean in, there's this whiskey vapor.
Oh, Christ.
Mrs.
You're pretty
Ster-
sure someone lights a cigarette near Lady Montgomery, it's gonna explode.
Okay.
There's just alcohol.
I'm going to put on my princess face,
Mm.
turn to Mr. Sterling, smile charmingly, and say, "My dear Mr. Sterling, the necklace in front of you is actually not Edna's to wager. It is part of the royal family of the Netherlands chest of jewels, and I'm sure you can understand that you wouldn't want to be a traitor to the House of Orange by taking it from me."
My dear
Charm?
princess.
Charm.
Sure.
Charm.
Charm?
Charm.
You sound like a
Charm?
seagull when you say that.
Charm. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm going to use my bloody luck on this.
12 points of
yes.
luck.
Yes, because I can't lose it. It's not
My-
mine to lose.
My
I was gonna jump
dear
in
lady,
waiting for you.
your royal highness, I wouldn't dream of costing your family any kind of heirloom. Surely, however, someone of your position would understand how it would look if you were to simply... what's the word? Not honor a wager? So if you could just simply replace it for a certain monetary value,
At this point,
I wouldn't have to point out to people that the oranges bet in bad faith.
I do not bet. I
You
have-
made a bet as soon as you loaned it to Lady Montgomery.
At this point, I'm going to pull my pistol out of my shoulder holster, cock it, and point it directly in the center of his forehead.
Captain Elliot, this is not
What? Whoa.
It
This
just-
is extreme.
Captain.
I have a few questions.
Okay, but this is just about a necklace, Captain.
No,
It's
no, no.
fine.
This is not about a necklace.
While he's doing that, can I make a sleight of hand to try and slip the necklace into my pocket for Princess
Yeah.
Sophia?
But hang on before you do that.
Oh my god. I don't know what
yes,
that is,
you
but I'm scared.
you can make a sleight of hand, yeah.
Oh boy. Oh no, I'm not good at this. I thought I was.
Let's all calm down. Let's all calm down.
Like
Because
as your hand heads towards that necklace, Lord Montgomery very casually rests his hand on top of it just before you have a moment to catch it, as he just looks at Captain Elliot and goes, "I see no reason to be particularly antagonistic, but whatever you wish to ask."
I'm speaking to Mr. Sterling now.
Ah.
Eight months ago, two gentlemen from an office came to see Lady Dorsey. Who were they? What was their business?
Oh, the notaries.
Yes.
Yes.
They're with Jacobs and Jennings. And they had some business with Lady Dorsey concerning her father's estate that I was not privy to. As much as I would have liked to be in control, I was cut out of the will and control of many things quite expertly.
Real fast, the notebook that you guys found with the names in it, that was his, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Sterling, just a tiny point of order. Lady Montgomery will wager their car instead of this priceless heirloom. Thank you.
That seems like a wonderful deal.
Okay, and I will.
Wait, were the cars not broken?
I'll reholster the gun, and I'm going to take the notebook and go into the corner with the notebook and a pen and start trying to work out this cipher.
I'll also go
All right.
to Edna and take the earrings.
Darling, please, I was going to win it all back. I always do.
Edna, we will speak of this later. You do not wager my crown jewels.
Well, like I said, I was going to win them all back.
Don't talk to me this way, Edna.
Whatever you say, darling.
Take all the jewels.
You're stuffing your pockets with gems.
Yeah! I need those. They're my insurance. They are.
All right. We have Captain Elliot in a corner with a notebook. Princess Sophia in a chair petting her jewels. Reminiscing about the time she still had her dog.
So she's going
And her
Gollum
mate.
on her. Okay.
So, I think I'll play around with you there, Mr. Sterling, then, since Lady Dorsey seems to be out of things to wager.
Lady Montgomery, Lady Dorsey
Excuse
died.
me, I'm so sorry. Well, she certainly out of
You
things
see,
to wager.
you see Mr. Sterling like crack a half smile, go, well, it seemed that would also put her out of things to wager, wouldn't it?
Yes, pardon my indiscretion there.
You seem broken up about your employers.
Yeah.
Why on earth would I show you how I actually feel?
It's
We
a
all wear our
British
masks.
thing.
Normal human being who had any affection for the person would show a little grief.
We hear a dark muttering from the corner from someone who is preoccupied and can't actually participate in this particular conversation.
You're not there!
If you would be so kind, Mr. Sterling, to deal me in.
Naturally, I understand Lady Montgomery is waging a car.
Of course, I have things in my possession as well, and those.
I own things.
I own everything. Well, that's wonderful. What would you like to put up?
Well, I have, of course, people's at like a pill bottle. Like, well, I guess a big glass jar back in the day.
Mhm.
The glass jar full of pills filled with Aztec virility herbs. Very rare. Very, very expensive to have shipped here and sell for quite a pretty penny on this side of the world. As they are, of course, shipped straight from Mexico.
May I?
Of course.
He sort of rattles them around in the bottle.
Are they blue? Do they have a V on them?
You're not there. I didn't think Captain Elliot needed those.
I'd also point out
He
they don't
doesn't.
actually have a V on them, but you know.
No, but they work on the most intelligent persons. Often the most intelligent people are not quite as virile as their more simple counterparts. So it really works on men who've used their minds rather than their muscle.
I would explain why the masses keep breeding the way they do, certainly.
So it would.
I don't like him.
No.
You haven't liked him for 2 episodes. Why would he suddenly be likable?
I think Dr. Roy is really trying to like be friends with him. You know, I mean, he's
Yeah.
really trying to put on a charm.
Bring on the schmooze.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. He's perfectly happy to accept your wager of the pill bottle.
Mhm.
And to reiterate, Lady Montgomery is betting a car. You're betting quite a supply of wonder pills, apparently.
Yeah. I think his prescription's usually like 1 pill a month, and this is like a whole jar of them. So this is like a year's worth.
Like a year supply.
Yeah.
I will simply be betting straight money.
Nothing talks like cold hard cash, eh?
Exactly. I like to keep things steady and clear.
Of course.
And he starts dealing out the hand. You can roll charm to see if he's on board with your schmoozing.
Cool. Love that for me.
Nice one.
Yes, he is very much. He seems like he has had a shit night as well as you guys. I mean, at some point you informed him he'd already died. He's decided most of you are at least a little crazy.
Oh,
But
I'm
he seems to be
completely nuts.
he seems to at least consider you like an honorable, respectable doctor who is clearly doing slightly better than the rest of them in, staying social in the face of adversity like a proper British person, even though you're not technically a proper British person.
Who is it? Oh, because I'm a working man, of course.
Well, you had to, exactly. You didn't inherit. You're working.
Well, so, and of course, again, just backtracking a little bit because of last session and everything, they told Dr. Roy and Miss Johnson what was in the contents of that notebook, right? We were filled in on everything, basically.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, they gave you the list of the names that they noticed, and other than that, there wasn't anything particularly. It was like a really tiny little notebook. There wasn't anything very interesting in it.
Right.
There were only 5 names, I think, that were in there.
So, do you frequent the Americas very often, Mr. Sterling?
I've never been there, actually. I have contacts, but I've never made the journey myself.
One of your contacts, a Marquez. Common name in Mexico, I've heard.
Yes, I was just to say we have several, I believe.
Yes, it's a very common name over in Mexico. It would make sense if one of your contacts was that. One of my contacts, of course, is named Mr. Marquez, that I acquired these very virility herbs from.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It must be like Smith or Johnson, like we do over here.
Very much so. It's more like Martin, I think.
That would make sense, yes. He is raising a bet, and you see Lady Montgomery sort of opening her little pocketbook and looking at like little checks that she probably needs to write.
Can I roll a psychology? Like an
yes.
insight? Or I don't know. Yeah, psychology is insight in this game.
Yeah.
Hard success.
Hard
nice.
success. Well, if we're backtracking, there was a little twinge when you mentioned Mr. Marquez. Little twitch at the eye.
Any hint on his hand at all? Or is he still poker face on that one?
You have no idea about his cards. He seems to be... he's either actually not paying attention that well to his cards, or he's pretending not to be paying that much attention to his cards. He seems much more focused on what you're saying.
Right. Dr. Roy will absently raise like he doesn't care as well.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Lady Montgomery is writing a check while Lord Montgomery is glaring at her.
Well, it's always good to have contacts across the world.
Definitely cheating.
I wonder, what do you do I know you do importing and exporting. What do you usually get from, that part of the world?
Well, I believe there's a number of woven items, like tapestries and baskets and things that seem exotic, but are really things we can buy cheap and sell to fanciful people here.
Those bright colors, of course, I'm sure.
Exactly, the geometric patterns. Exactly. I think a number, as you mentioned, a number of herbs and spice mixes. None of them used in cooking. But again, like you're probably well aware, the more medicinal kind.
Of course.
None of those go directly to the consumer, though. We wholesale those.
Yes, my mother's from Mexico, did you know?
I believe I've heard something to that effect, but I wasn't quite sure.
Yes. I've been a couple of times myself. That's where I discovered the Aztec virility herbs and their medicinal use. But yes, I mostly stayed here in London with my father.
And your father would be...
He definitely has a name, and I know it. And it's a good one.
Quick, where's my backstory? It's It's how about you look this up while we go to break?
Yeah.
Because it is half past. You have a little bit of more time to find your own notes. So before break, I have to shout out Roll20 for being amazing, even though it's costing you a lot of sanity. I'm very sorry about that, but I'm also not very sorry about that because it's
I was
amazing.
gonna say, no, you're not sorry.
I feel bad for you. That seems more accurate. I'm not actually sorry. I do feel a little bad for you. And very quickly, and in a very unprecedented move for me, I see Azorin has entered the chat. And Azorin is actually a friend of mine. And it's his birthday, so let's wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Azorin! Happy birthday!
I am not singing.
Happy
I cannot
birthday.
sing. Nobody wants to hear me sing. So happy birthday. Thank you for coming to join us, even though you're late. And we'll see you all after the break. Let's see. Dr. Roy, how long do you think you need to find your father's name? Is 15 minutes enough?
I think 15 minutes might do it.
15 minutes will do it. Great. We'll be back here at 1:45.
Okay.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Welcome back. I was just complaining I forgot to pour my whiskey, but I will find a way to sneakily do this while they're play acting things soon enough. When we left off, you hear dogs howling in the distance, and you think, Freddy? Is that you? Freddy! Sadly, it is not Freddy. I am going to yell at him for a second, though. There, blessed silence. We just left off, as I start the creepy music again, because this also matters. With, oh no, wait, we were in a ballroom.
Yep.
Where the jazz quartet is playing because, god damn it, they're getting paid and they have a job to do. And
it keeps our mind off the dead woman.
And other things. Mr. Sterling had just asked Dr. Roy who his father was after having briefly mentioned his father in casual conversation.
Of course, that's Sir Richard Kent, the famed explorer.
Really? Wow, he must have brought home amazing stories.
He did. One of them was my mother, in fact.
That's an odd way of putting it, but I see your point, yes.
Just another thing to bring home from faraway lands.
How very exotic.
Indeed.
But she moved back, I understand.
For a time, yes. Once my father passed, she moved back to her home country for a while.
Forgive me for being confused. If your father is Sir Richard Kent, how did you decide on the name Roy?
Oh well, that's my uncle's name was Roy, of course, and he just didn't want me to follow me in my childhood, of course, and be, oh, your father's Richard Kent, just so I could have a normal life, as it were.
As keeper, I believe Miss McCown was still near this table as well.
Honey.
I don't know where Miss Johnson went. You're muted. All those buttons again.
No.
Nope. While she's sorting that, Irene?
Yes.
Could you make me a psychology roll?
Yes, I can.
So, the two men are talking, as men always do. They love to hear the sound of their own voices.
Very rich tenor.
But notably, when Mr. Sterling first mentions one of their contacts being Mr. Marquez, you also see Mr. Sterling's eye twitch a little. But when Dr. Roy is talking about his family and his name, you also get the feeling he's not just bluffing about his hand.
That Dr.
Actually, we actually heard you say fuck, Billy.
Sorry.
We heard you. No,
right.
this is good. We can hear you. Sorry, excitement. Oh, we could hear her again.
But you've now got it back on mute, Billy.
Yeah, now you're on mute again.
Yeah, you just pushed the mute button.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's something with my
Yippee.
headset. Like once I plug it out, I'm just using the device.
Yeah, I have to. I sometimes have to move mine to a different USB port halfway through, so it picks it up again.
Oh, okay.
Modern technology.
Yeah.
But my question before the confusion was if you're also near the conversation of Dr. Roy and Mr. Sterling, or if you went off to one of the corners. There's like one corner left that currently has nobody sulking in it.
No,
So there's one open corner.
I'm gonna be near the conversation. I want to hear what's going on.
In that case, I'd also like a psychology roll from you.
And
Hold
in
on
this
1 second.
one-
Sorry, I spilled something.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Psychology roll. Hold on a second.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the room,
someone is angrily muttering at a notebook, and while I'm also typing secret messages to like half of my players because we're being sneaky. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do with the notebook?
You mentioned that I'd figured out it was a skip cipher.
You assume it's a skip cipher.
Okay, well, I'm going to...
The way things are written down on the page.
Okay, well, without going into technical detail, I'm going to use frequency analysis and I'll check to see whether check vowel sounds and see if I can decipher it.
Okay, make me an intelligence check. Sadly, Miss Johnson doesn't pick up on the undercurrent of lying, cheating, and tension between Dr. Roy and Mr. Sterling. But you can see Miss McCown, who seems very much fascinated by what they're saying. Captain Elliot, you get the idea that about if the general skip cipher, if you're assuming that their letters are transposed about 13 letters away from each other.
Yeah. Okay, so they've skipped half the alphabet. Okay, well, I'll start seeing if that works by translating the first page.
Okay. You start translating the first page, and at first you think you might be wrong, but you just do the whole first page just to be sure. And it's actually a collection of different languages. So the first language is actually, the first sentence is in French, and then the second sentence is in German, and then the third sentence is in English.
How many different languages?
5 all told.
Okay, well,
one of them appears to be Latin, and the 5th one appears to be something akin to German.
Okay. If it's akin to German, would I have a chance of being able to translate it? Given the fact that I'm fluent.
Yeah, you'd be close. The problem becomes when you're trying to do verbs and conjugations, because German does a lot of interesting things that other languages deem unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, I'll certainly give it I can translate the English, obviously, and I can translate the normal German. And I will attempt...
I speak French because we talked about this.
Yes, we did. So I'll try and catch the princess's eye and sort of motion for her to come over so I can show her what's on the notebook.
Okay. I am going to put this in chat to you.
Okay.
There's a very annoying beep. It's gone now. If you're just opening the first page up, it is a repetition of hang on. I can't make a combination chat to you and the princess, so I have to type it to you separately since you took it to her.
No, I came to him. Which is actually really wrong, I know.
I know, such a social faux pas.
Yeah. Should have just walked to me, but no.
Yeah. It's the same in all 5 languages, and it repeats across the full first page.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
No, it's not. I'll go on to page 2.
Okay.
Now that I've figured out what the cipher actually is, I should be able to translate it relatively swiftly.
Oh yeah, it's a very basic cipher. Nope.
Basic bitches.
I very much need to mind who I'm sending stuff to, because that almost went to the wrong person. Our cameras are switched again, by the way, Anthony, because Billy went offline for a second. I do not look good in a beard.
No, he's off today.
I've messaged you what's on the second page.
Yeah. I've got page 1 and page 2.
Yep.
Well, let's keep going, Captain.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna translate as much as long as it takes me. I'm going to translate everything I can on there.
Now I'm going to help. As far as I'm helpful in this.
Well, you're incredibly helpful for confirmation that it's the repetition of the same thing in 5 different languages.
Yeah.
Hang on. I cannot spell this. I'm gonna cheat horribly and Google this. I'm just so glad I have Google while I'm keeping. It's still a weird verb for leading a game.
CTHULHU.
Yeah. Well, you laugh.
Oh my! Captain Elliot, I think you've translated this one wrong. The cipher must be different. This doesn't make any sense.
You're absolutely correct. All I can say is the first 4 pages follow exactly the same cipher, and if I use the same cipher on the 5th page, that's what comes out.
Yes, I understand, but Cthulhu doesn't make any sense. Let's just keep going. Huh.
Okay,
Well, it is autumn now, isn't it?
September, I believe.
No, October.
October.
October. Yes, in which case
4th of October, I think.
4th of October.
Yeah, in which case, definitely.
Well, but this one sentence is wrong, obviously.
I'll keep working on that and see if that page can be translated any other way.
Yes.
But for the meantime, that's
Have
what
we
we've
done
got.
all the pages now?
I believe that's all of them.
Okay,
yes.
So he's... Okay, let me just say it all. He slumbers in the deep, he awaits our calling, we must sing across the darkness, his likeness we shall keep, Pneglui Magnaf, Cthulu, Villiers, Vganachel, Fintachen, he shall have his day in the fall, we shall be ready. Well, it's all quite ominous, but that sentence doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But his likeness we shall keep, and he slumbers in the deep. It was a sea creature on the necklace.
It seemed that way from the depiction, rather crude depiction, but yes, depiction on the.
This sounds like some sort of crude nursery rhyme.
I'd just like to say that I do not like the look on our keeper's face at this moment.
No. How else do you want me to look?
Not quite so ominous.
Not smirking.
and not as if you're enjoying this far too much.
And Captain Elliot, I'm not native to this land. Is this some sort of English nursery rhyme?
Not the one that I was ever taught in nursery by Nanny, I have to say. I've got the notebook, which has got both the original text and the translation in it. And I'm going to put that back in my pocket now that I've translated it and go back over to the game.
Right. At the game, Dr. Roy was still chatting with Mr. Sterling under the watchful eye of Mrs. McCown and Johnson. And you were trying to bullshit your way through having chosen your uncle's name. Some weird reason.
Yes, so then I said to the schoolboy, well, my father is actually Sir Richard Kent. And boy, he was knocked on his ass.
Oh, such notoriety, yes.
Quite a shock, of course.
Would you like to try a bluff check? Or fast talk, or would you just...
If that's what you're the keeper, you tell me. I am at your.
Well, I'm trying. Well, the thing is, yeah, try fast talk.
Fast.
And then Billy Johnson and Miss McCown get another psychology roll.
Okay.
Plus, I'm a kind and generous DM keeper.
Oh,
person.
I'm not good at that. Okay.
Wow, nice.
All right. Miss Johnson is still moderately oblivious. I mean, God love her, but this isn't her moment.
It's like, oh my god, he really fell on his ass, ding.
Yeah.
Oh my god, your dad is Sir Kent? Wow.
Wow.
I like that.
Whereas Miss McCown, he is talking out of his proverbial ass.
Anal cavity, keeper, please.
It was anal cavity, my apologies.
What did I say about anal cavities?
I'm getting so much better at saying trousers instead of pants, and now I have to remember anal cavity. Oh, it's so hard.
Miss McCown's just gonna kind of slowly raise an eyebrow at that comment, but keep to herself.
All right. Silent. Captain
It's
Elliot.
golden.
Exactly. Captain Elliot and Princess Sophia are wandering back over to the table as Mr. Sterling calls the last bet. And
before we wander back, I'm going to turn around to the princess and say, Princess, I think Mr. Sterling is a thorough cad, and I suspect him of cheating at cards. That's why he was so happy to take Dr. Roy's special herbs, because I think he thinks he's already got this hand won.
Okay, but what do you propose we do?
I'm not proposing anything. I'm just giving this to you as a piece of information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Sterling calls the last hand. Miss Montgomery chucks in one of her rings. Dr. Roy?
Dr. Roy puts down an appropriate amount of cash.
Cold hard cash. Nothing like it.
Money talks, Mr. Sterling. I don't know. Is my hand good? Like, I don't. I
was actually just gonna make you roll for it.
Okay, just like a straight up and down.
Yeah, I was just thinking D100's lowest wins.
Okay.
Nailed
it.
I will roll twice, once for Lady Montgomery and one for Mr. Sterling, and my first roll will be Lady Montgomery, who has you beat already, and both her and her husband look so relieved. And then Mr. Sterling reveals his hand, and Lady Montgomery actually has him beaten. And as she reaches over to collect her winnings, Lord Montgomery sort of reaches in between everyone to pluck out the car keys and the check and rips up the check and puts the car keys in their pocket.
Does he grab the virility pills?
Yeah, we need to know.
No, Lady Montgomery grabs the virility pills.
Oh, well then.
Well, I know, and I've been
feisty one.
Para Queens doesn't win all hands.
Okay, so keeping Lady Montgomery's inventory, how many pills does she have? Like a year's supply, right?
12, yeah.
12 virility pills. Mm-hmm.
Very potent, Lady Montgomery. You might want to be careful. Not approved by the British Commission for use by women.
Oh, what do they know?
Still working on it.
Especially about women. They know nothing.
Of course, of course.
Technically accurate.
I'm working actually with a friend of mine who's a gynecologist, and we're getting a woman version of virility herbs for her, you know.
You mentioned the word gynecologist, and both Lord and Lady Montgomery get a little pale and a little red in the face. There's a limit to what they're willing to accept.
I do apologize, my lord and lady. Sometimes we doctors get a little caught
It's
up.
very technical.
Yes, very technical.
It's not something we need. No.
Apologies.
You do see her put the pills like in her little clutch.
One of the footmen this evening.
Just one? Oh, you dream too small.
Well, they're called footmen for a reason.
Well,
No
neither the keeper nor Lady Montgomery are gonna go there.
Edna is a feisty one.
Edna is a feisty one.
I know when I've been outclassed, I think I'll abstain from the next game before I too have to put my car keys on the table. You're very good, Mr. Sterling. Your luck seems to be really holding out this evening. But, of course...
Well, honestly, I just lost to Lady Montgomery. I'd say she's outshining us all.
Yes.
Mr. Sterling?
Your Highness.
Do you like squids?
To eat?
I don't know. Do you like squids?
No. I mean, it's very chewy.
Okay.
For confusion. Yes, the psychology.
Thank you. Yes, psychology. I'm sorry.
Psychology.
It's over there. I succeed.
Nice.
A
Barely.
success is a success.
Did you just roll a 1 on something?
On something, yes. He looks really confused. And he also looks like he really doesn't like to eat squid. It's very chewy, you know. They don't have a lot of experience preparing it properly in England.
Oh, no. Well, in my country, we know how to deal with squids.
Oh, the same way you deal with vegetables, you boil them until they fall apart.
Exactly. It's delicious.
Well, that was an interesting segue into the conversation. I have no idea what brought this on, but
I don't know.
if you're planning a surprise party, please don't.
I haven't been sober for hours, Mr. Sterling, and
you hear Edna behind you. Ah, darling, me neither. And she just gives you this warm hug from halfway from the side.
Remember your place, Edna.
Oh, what is my place if not as your favorite British aunt? It's still just mainly whiskey.
Yes. Captain Elliot, can I talk to you for a second?
Yes, absolutely.
We need to do something about the people in the ballroom because I think Edna's going to drink herself to death if she doesn't lie down soon. And the poor servants are still in the dining room, and we can't just keep the people in a holding pattern. What are we supposed to do?
Until we figure out what's going on, unfortunately, I do believe we ought to keep people in a holding pattern.
Yes, but not everyone is a soldier, Captain Elliot, and not everyone is good at taking orders and just understanding that they need to stay put. Things are going to go wrong soon. Trust me. I can still remember my niece's coming out ball and the girls having to wait for hours, and it wasn't pretty.
I completely appreciate where you're coming from, Your Highness. The only thing I can say is there is a dead lady upstairs, and
is there? Because last time Dr. Roy was up there was no one there.
I'm fairly certain that Lady Dorsey is actually dead, and that supersedes everything else. Other people's comfort, frankly, I'm less concerned about than finding out who was responsible.
Fair enough, but we're not doing anything right now.
True, but what would you suggest? Letting everybody split up and go their separate ways so that the potential murderer couldn't escape?
No, but what are we doing right now?
Well, right now, honestly, I'm kind of at a loss for what to do, and I'm open to suggestions as to what our next step is. My gut feeling is that I start walking to the local constabulary.
Miss McCown, you've been in many a rowdy situation, I can imagine, as a singer.
A few, yes.
Yes. What does one do when we're at a loss?
That's... Well, honestly, it depends on the situation. In this particular case, I have no idea what we could do.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the problem.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go?
How far away is Billy seated from where this conversation is going on?
Well, you could have wandered over, I guess.
Which conversation exactly?
The one between Princess Sophia. I guess. This most
they walked a little bit away from your table, but I don't know how far they walked.
No,
but if they've drawn Miss McCown back in, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're very close to you.
You could have
All right. I'm gonna jump up and Billy's like, I don't mean to interrupt, but I really thought I just heard Nathaniel's voice coming from one of the rooms outside.
Oh?
Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
Which one?
I don't know which room. I couldn't tell for sure. It's to the south of us. On this floor, though.
Okay.
Well, finding someone is good.
Well,
I would love to find people.
That would mean that would be this room.
Yeah. Let's bring up the map.
That's where we are, so that will be that room here. I'll open the door and have and look into the room that's to the south of us.
Okay.
Which is exactly the room you saw
Mr.
Connor head off into.
Yeah.
Hours and hours and minutes ago. And as you throw open the door, it is empty. It is dark. It is cold. And it is covered in dust.
What else is in the room? What kind of furniture? Can we tell it? What kind of room is it?
It has like a little reading nook, a whole bunch of books, some display cases, a fairly hideous rug.
Yeah, that's the library.
The
study.
The library's upstairs.
The study. The library's
right.
And if we look back towards the ballroom, is the ballroom still as we know it?
Yeah.
It is. If you look back through the door, it's bright and well lit, and people seem to be bobbing their heads along to inoffensive paid-for jazz.
So, it's
That's really weird.
Is this how it looked upstairs, Dr. Roy?
Yes, quite. He tightens his grips on his stupid sword.
So he's just been like.
Nobody in the ballroom commented on your sword. Oddly enough.
He had it under the table. That was going to be his next bet.
I'll bet you this.
Is that a
this
sword?
belonged to the Duke of York.
Are you sure you want to raise me?
Oh, Cole, there can be only one. Sorry, I watched too much Highlander when I was younger. Although to feel Highlander was an amazing series. Sorry, I interrupted, and I'm trying to herd cats without turning into one.
Yes, this is how it looked upstairs, Your Highness.
Okay, if we're going with crazy theories, it seems these are two different time periods we're looking at. This can't be right.
That's our running theory anyway, hasn't it been?
Yeah.
Already getting a headache.
Yes. It's just. Let's just go with that. If we don't try and think about it too much, we'll. Yes. Miss Johnson?
Yes.
Would you like to call for Nathaniel?
Nathaniel, are you here? Can you hear us?
Billy?
Did you hear that?
You? Oh?
Do we hear this?
You do.
Okay.
Oh.
Ask him if he's all right. Does he need help? Can he come to us?
Are you okay? Where are you? Come to us. Follow our voices.
I don't. It's really dark. I don't hear. Where are?
We can't hear you. Keep talking, Nathaniel.
Billy?
Yeah.
Billy, I don't feel so good.
Where are you? Just come toward my voice.
Is my dog
Can't-
with you?
Can't move. Cold.
This doesn't.
We don't know where you are, Nathaniel. We're trying to find you.
Oh, this is foolish. Dr. Roy pushes to the front and goes into the darkness.
Don't go alone. Oh.
Wait, stop, come back.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Take this.
Lob sword.
Right. The next words out of your mouth better not be, "I'll be right back."
You know, if this is like the slasher, you're gonna get naked, take a shower, be a cheerleader.
Have sex.
Yeah.
Talk
Exactly.
about
You guys have been
Insta
flirting,
death.
so I'm still. You guys are,
Okay, which one of you is the virgin? Which one of you is the cheerleader? No, never mind.
Oh
Give you
boy.
my backstory.
No, that's perfectly fair. You plunge ahead into the dark room.
No, Dr. Roy, don't.
Don't. Yeah, he's already gone. Almost cheap, but he's already gone. And as you, it's really strange. The door was open, and you were looking into the room that seemed dark and cold and dusty. As you cross the threshold, it is the lights are working. It looks pretty clean, like someone's recently used it. And I'd like a spot hidden.
Can we see
All of
him?
us?
from Dr. Roy or all?
Just Dr. Roy at this
But if he,
particular point in time.
and when he walks in there, do we still see the empty
No.
room or?
No, you see the empty room. You just don't see Dr. Roy.
Dr. Roy is apparently
Oh
a
my God,
tiefling
he's
with dark vision.
No.
Dr. Roy, what happened?
Wait,
Where are
what?
you?
Where did?
Hello?
Dr. Roy, as you look around astonished at the weirdness of this room, you notice a pair of shoes peeking around from one of the bookcases. They look like they belong to someone laying down.
Oh boy. Like a woman's shoes or a man's shoes?
Man shoes.
Great. He peeks his head and he's got a sword right. He's about to, he's holding it like a baseball bat, I think. He's absolutely.
As you move around to the area of the room, you see a very dead Mr. Devereaux.
All right. Well, this one wasn't my fault. I found him like this.
As opposed to Lady Dorsey, who had the narrow stab wound and, slowly bled out, but you all asked for blood spatter patterns. It's very clear why Mr. Devereaux is dead, because there is a gaping hole in his chest.
Oh no!
Does it look like? Is it like into his torso, like it's completely like a crater, or like?
Yes.
Are there
like the ribs are sticking up a little?
Yeah.
Is there anything with what Dr. Roy knows of human anatomy? Are there any organs missing? I'm scared to ask.
Yeah, the heart.
Oh.
I thought. All right, Miss Johnson.
Yes.
Don't come back here. I believe your friend is
What? Coming here?
You found him? Did you find him?
Yes, Mr. Devereaux's here, but I don't come in here, Miss Johnson. He's very dead.
I have seen bodies before.
All right, you
Okay,
do
but
examine
we're
mummies.
now conversing with a voice coming from a room that doesn't.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
I
can't
would like
actually...
absolutely everybody to make a sanity check
Exactly,
right now.
because this is.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Nice. Terrible. Also not great. Not bad.
Finally.
Yeah, you save for half.
Wow. I'm gonna use luck
Yeah,
points.
so that's
No,
gonna be. We can't not look
use
at it.
luck on sanity.
God, we can't.
Okay, how about I just don't roll another 10 on a 10?
Please.
Please.
Okay, fine. Let's see.
Round up
the
or
people
down?
who up because it's Call of Cthulhu and the game hates you.
That's fine.
Those who passed take 3. Those who failed take 5.
So I'm at 75. How's
Which is ridiculously high compared to
I'm
the rest of your poor party members.
How's Captain Elliot doing?
Not well.
Still double digits.
I'm down to 38.
Woo!
This is beginning to make me a little twitchy.
I will remind you that technically we've provided a way to regain sanity, but that takes time and effort and role-playing. And finding a proper moment in-game to make it all make sense. And so far, you're conversing with someone who disappeared about the mutilated corpse of someone you knew to be alive several hours ago, so that's not happening right now.
Okay.
You know, it's, technically speaking, now is not the moment to regain your mind. It's not.
No.
It's not likely.
Can Dr. Roy go through his pockets?
Yes.
For point of order, I have a sanity of 75. That means I'm confused, but fine.
Ish.
Ish. So, can I just say, Dr. Roy, could you please come back to us to show us you are okay?
Yes, I'll be there in just a moment.
Please now, and then you can do what you want. But
All
we
right.
need to know you still live in our world.
I'm on my way. He like makes stomping noises, but he's gonna go through shit.
God, I want to make you roll performance, but I don't think that's a check in this game.
It's totally charm. It's totally charm. Or persuade?
I don't think it's charm.
Oh.
No, I think you're bullshitting your way through something. I think it's fast talk.
Not persuade.
No, because you're not actually seeing anyone or, actually talking to them normally.
Nope.
No.
Come back. So,
to be perfectly honest, with that roll, you would have failed persuade as well.
is he coming back? Is he coming back through the
You
day?
hear something clomping?
Yes. Okay.
But you don't see him appearing, and you get, you as a player, you have children, you know what it sounds like when they're bullshitting you, like when they're pretending to go to bed. This doesn't sound like he's actually moving towards you guys.
Dr. Royce, you are trying to bullshit a princess. Stop it and come back here right now.
Yeah, he's still.
You're going through his pockets.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
It's a good thing.
With our sanity.
It's a good thing your hands were already covered in blood, because right now they're just. You find nothing. You find that a lot of them have already been turned out.
Disgusting. All right, and then he goes back.
You actually hear him coming towards you now.
Okay. Do we see him emerge?
Yes, as soon as he crosses the threshold, you see him again. English is a really annoying language when you have a lisp like I do. It's terrible.
Really annoying language
yeah.
anyway.
Do you remember me having to say short sword a lot?
That's why we call it a sword now, because we all gave up.
Short sword.
It is now officially a short sword, and nobody cares.
Okay. Dr. Roy, you vanished. You got in there and you vanished, and you.
He is. Like, there's blood on his hands, there's blood on the knees of his pants.
What happened in there? Are you all right?
Mr. Devereaux appears to be so sorry, Miss Johnson, missing his heart. His whole chest cavity is open.
Oh no!
I was trying to resuscitate him. Did not work, as he was missing his heart.
I would assume that
his heart.
I would assume that would have been impossible.
I just wanted to make sure, give my medical opinion on the manner of death. It appears as though his chest cavity was, and his heart is just gone.
That sounds absolutely brutal.
It's horrible. You should go look at it. I didn't do it this time.
Actually, I think I prefer not to.
Well, actually, I think we should. We should see anything with our own eyes, because we can't believe anything anyone tells us anymore.
Well,
out of curiosity, well, this is just an idea. What if another one of us enters just at first? Somebody go in first. Let's
Flip
take
back
a
and
moment
forth.
to see if the same phenomenon is happening with the disappearing and reappearing.
Yeah, let's run some experiments on the timey-wimey, as you called it.
The wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Yes.
Whatever that means. I'm a different sort of doctor.
Ping! Ping!
You can really tell who plays bards normally. Okay. Well, any volunteers?
I'll go.
Miss McCown, you can't go alone.
I'll go with her.
Hold hands.
Can't we get one of the servants to experiment on? I mean,
Horrible. Your
Yes,
Highness.
Princess Mengele.
It's a little early for Mengele jokes, I'm afraid. Timeline wise.
I'm Jewish, I'll allow it.
It's 1924.
20 years early, I think.
With all this back and forth, Irene's just gonna go ahead and take the opportunity and just walk right in while they're.
No, don't stop.
If she's walking in there, I'll follow her.
I'll point out that at this point in the timeline, Dr. Mengele is 15 years old.
Probably already killing squirrels.
Probably. I mean, he's pretty fucked up. Also, I gifted Zorin a sub for his birthday, which means either he gets. It'll just make him choose. Zorin, you get to give someone either an advantage, which means they get a success where they would normally fail, or you can give someone a single sanity point. Help them claw their way back out of the darkness.
Savage.
Let us know in chat what you want to do. Do not besiege him. Let the boy make up his own mind. As Miss McGowan is storming into a perfectly normal study.
I'm following her.
And I'm assuming I'm gonna look back. Do you see me? Everything looks.
Thank you.
The advantage has gone to Lana. Which I'm sure has nothing to do with the fact that she's driving him home tomorrow.
It's just that my character is so amazing.
That must be it. The people who have not yet crossed the threshold do not see you. But they can hear you.
I assume I can see her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. It also smells like the really gross tang of iron in the air. I don't know how many of you have been around copious amount of cooling blood, but there's a very distinct smell. I know Captain Elliot knows what this smells like. I'm pretty sure Miss McCown knows as well.
Is the
New York, baby.
This experiment? Are you in the same room that Dr. Roy was in? Can we stop this experiment and keep together, please?
I believe that we're in the same room Dr. Roy was in. Let me just check to make sure that the body's still here.
If you go around one of the bookcases, you do see a very dead Mr. Devereaux with a cracked open chest.
I'm just like in the background, leaning over the side to see.
Yeah. I'm as soon as I make sure he's there and he's dead, I'm going to say to Miss McCann, he's around the corner if you really want to have a look. But I'm going back into the ballroom. That's horrible.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so can't really do much, or wouldn't have much know-how on what exactly happened. So.
And to be fair, I don't think I, or Dr. Roy can cure whatever's ailing him.
Well, no, not cure, but at least know speculate what happened. Other than obviously the chest and the
chest, the heart, the ripping.
So one quick question: does it look as if there's been a wound from the back that's pushed forward, or does it look like somebody's gone in and then started peeling ribs back?
Yeah, that's more the question. Yeah.
Make me a medicine check.
No, this is going to go well.
Good luck.
Thank you.
What do you mean? It went so well the last time I made a medicine check on a corpse.
Oh my god.
You can spend a single luck
I'm
point
going
and it
to-
works. That is amazing. That is
Yeah.
an amazing roll.
That is why we have luck.
Yes, that is luck well spent, and that's just rolling a 2 is impressive. It looks like someone went in from the front, made a little Y incision, cracked the ribcage, and the arteries that would normally attach to the heart, the aorta, they look cut rather than torn.
Okay, and do I get a sense from the expression on Devereaux's face whether or not this was post-mortem or not?
Judging by the expression on his face, as well as where the blood has pooled, which is, by the way, far too congealed for someone who was talking to Miss Johnson 5 minutes ago. Pre-mortem.
Okay.
You also see, like, marks on the ground where he's clearly been clawing at floorboards.
That would have taken somebody very, very strong, or probably more than one person to do that. Holding somebody down who's trying to fight for their life and then have the power to go straight through their chest, make a Y incision and crack their ribs open whilst they're still alive.
You hear him muttering this as you're back around the bookcase.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to. I'm literally muttering this. I'm kind of turning around and I'm saying we need to get back into the ballroom, and I'll offer Miss McCown to go ahead.
Yep, just gonna quick nod, turn around and go. That's whew,
Yeah.
harsh way to go.
And I'm going to be following right on her heels.
All right. Two rather flustered-looking people come storming out of what appears to be an empty room, with Captain Elliot as much as Dr. Roy fairly... Like, his hands aren't clean. You have to poke around a little to determine what was going on to actually be able to make that medicine roll and see what's going on.
I'm going to see if there's a towel around or something I can wipe my hands on. Dr. Roy, I don't know if you noticed whilst you were in there, but that wound looked like, or series of wounds looked like somebody going in from the front and then cracking his ribs. It also looked like it was pre-mortem rather than post-mortem. I suspect it must have been more than one person to be able to restrain the fellow and perform that.
Yes, of course. I noticed all of those things as well. Also,
make me a fast talk check. And
why can't I roll persuade?
Are you saying this very close to Miss Johnson? Because if Miss Johnson, you hear them discussing what used to be your best friend, basically.
Yeah, if they're close, attacked.
Yeah, did they?
I think I would probably be trying to be discreet about this. I'm not trying to kind of go in there and yell loudly. By the way, he's missing his heart. They cut it out.
I think that part was
really
already
bad.
shared. The fact that it was pre-mortem might be a little much for someone who used to be friends with him.
Yeah, I am trying to be as discreet about this as reasonably possible.
Don't want that fast talk.
Yeah. Yep. You get the feeling that Dr. Roy got.
Try and actually. Well, I was going to say I want to try and see if I can overhear anything they're talking.
Make a listen check. Dr. Roy seems to be fairly clearly after what happened to Lady Dorsey, he's a little spooked, and you get the feeling that his examination of Mr. Devereaux's body may have been more hurried than he's letting on.
Somewhat cursory.
Somewhat cursory.
Yep.
Also, the fact that he was
We're gonna go.
exactly. Also, the fact that he had time to make clomping noises to pretend to walk back.
Yeah. Okay.
This was like I've said about other people before. This wasn't his moment. Billy, you can hear them muttering, but you can't make out the words.
Okay.
Okay.
You know they're debating that Daniel, but you can't make out what they're saying.
Well, I once I've had a very quiet word with Dr. Roy, I'm going to say, unfortunately, I can confirm what Dr. Roy found was Mr. Devereaux's remains. I am terribly sorry.
Oh no! What happened to him?
I don't.
We're just talking to him.
I don't think you want any details. I really don't.
I'll have to agree with Captain Elliot on this one.
Well, I mean, I don't understand. We were just talking to him. Like, how is he killed in?
I have no idea.
Like 5 minutes time.
What I do know is that there's some very weird, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey shit going on, and that may account for the discrepancy in times.
Well, we need to find out what happened to him.
Oh, I know what happened to him. I just don't know who happened to him.
Well, yeah, we need to figure out who did it.
Yes, we do. We need to find out what happened to Lady Dorsey. We need to find out what happened to Mr. Devereaux.
We need to find out what happened to Alida and Freddie.
Of course.
Because I don't want them to be next.
Absolutely. I don't want anybody to be next.
I agree.
Which is why we should continue with the sticking together plan.
I would completely agree with. I think that if we separate out, we could potentially lose each other, and for how long, I don't know.
Okay, well, why are we staying here then? Maybe we should just all leave.
I'm beginning to suspect that literally all of us, including all the servants, walking to this constabulary together as a large group may not be the stupidest idea.
But I can't leave Alida and Freddie.
Yes, you can.
But we need to get help. Right, we can leave them.
Help.
Yeah, we'll go as a group and get help and come back and find everybody who's missing.
Yeah, I at this point, staying in this house seems to be
rather dangerous.
Lethal.
Exactly, and
yes.
I would be remiss in my duty if I didn't take into account everybody's safety here and try and get everybody out.
The needs of the many, yeah.
Yes, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one.
Nerds.
Live long and prosper. So I do believe that we should we as a group should go over to the dining room, get the servants, and all of us start leaving.
I don't want to agree, but I think I do.
Your Highness, whilst I completely understand your reticence, and I understand your concern for your servant and your faithful hound, I do believe that your safety is more important right now.
Well, I will put on my royal face and have everyone gather.
And I'm going to try and charm the princess into coming along with us. There we go.
I will. I know my duty.
Oh, you definitely will. He made a good point.
He did.
Okay. And I'm going to start gathering everybody who's still in the ballroom and say, we get your coat. If it's to hand, we are leaving.
You try and convince everybody in the ballroom as well. You're bringing the Montgomerys. You're bringing Mr. Sterling.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not everybody. I'm bringing everybody, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
Yes, and I will invoke royalty.
I will invoke Dupless. No, wait.
Royalty.
In
the name of Queen Juliana.
The British citizens seem to be a little underwhelmed by your invoking the Dutch Queen, and especially the Montgomerys who have pretty much collapsed onto a nearby love seat together.
Lord and Lady Montgomery, I'm going out in the cold and you are responsible for me. So if you would like to keep your head, you're coming with.
You know, first we cannot tell you what to do, then we're responsible for you, then I am to remind of my place. You like to wave your title around, don't you?
At
As
this
it is
point,
mine to wave, yes.
But it is cold, it is dark, I am tired, my feet
Dear
hurt.
musicians, you
And-
I
can
have
stop
a
playing.
room upstairs.
and all of those conditions are better than you being dead.
Yes. Dear musicians, you can stop playing now. We're all leaving together.
Including
they
you.
do start packing up. They're like,
Pack your instruments up. you're
yes, they're
coming with.
Yes.
they're much faster to pack than most people in this room.
Yeah.
Very
The Montgomerys are sending the maid who was roped into pouring drinks into fetching their cloaks and their furs, and it's ridiculous this weather. Doesn't anyone have like a lantern? Are we taking the car? Surely we're taking the
No.
car.
The cars
We
are all
can't-
disabled. We are walking.
Darling, I haven't walked more than the distance of my house in 30 years. How expect me to get to anywhere?
Well, I can strap you. I can have Captain Elliot strap you to a horse if you'd like.
Well, he's a very strapping man.
He's very
Yeah.
good with ropes.
Oh,
Well, do tell me more.
I'd like to hear more about that myself.
Right. As soon as everybody's
Captain,
got their
Captain Elliot, should we make a stop at the stables? Because as much as Lady Montgomery might be embellishing her disabilities, I don't think
Disabilities? I'm elderly.
Yes, and drunk, Edna.
Par for the course, darling. Par for the course.
We might have to actually strap her to a horse if we were to take her with us.
Let's get everybody outside together, and we'll then move as a group to the stables.
And,
I
and
want
what are we
everybody
going
together.
to do about the man you strung up so efficiently?
I'm going to take him with us, and
How are you going to carry him yourself?
no. I'll keep him bound, but I'll undo his feet so he can walk. Trust me, I'm not letting that man out of my sight. He's coming with.
I don't know. I don't know if I should trust you, Captain, but I don't have much of a choice.
Now would be the time. And I'm going to start gathering everybody up in the room and start literally trying to herd them out of the room as soon as everybody's got their things, and get them into the hall, and then go to the dining room, open the door. Is
You
everyone...
open the door to the dining room.
Yeah.
Everyone's dead.
It's like you know what I'm going to say before I
please
say
don't
it.
say that.
No!
Please.
oh boy.
It is a massacre. The man you left behind completely hogtied is no longer there. There are ropes on the floor. Lyndon is on the ground with his neck snapped. His head is at a ridiculous angle. Several of the maids have had their throats cut.
Okay, I look into the door. I quickly close it.
All right.
Captain, we need to get the people out. Come on.
There's nobody else. There's nobody in there that's coming with us.
What do you
Well, you
mean?
can say that.
What do you mean?
You don't want to look.
Okay, but what do you
what
mean
happened?
that there's
What's going
nobody in
on?
there that's...
I'm sorry, Captain.
There's nobody
but
in there. What? I'll open the door.
Is the room empty?
No, it is
No.
filled with dead people.
Is
And you
Jaime
all hear
Oh.
Jaime, as you look around, is not in the room. You do see his coat next to an empty bottle. You
Oh,
hear this creeping heartbeat in the back of your head. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
time to leave. We are getting the flock out of here, said one shepherd to the other.
In the famous words of many a DM, I'd like to see you try.
Certainly.
I would like to thank you for leaving a cultist with a flock of sheep.
Yeah,
I would have to ask, seeing a massacre, I feel like we should have to have a sanity.
All of you get to make sanity rolls. It was going to either do it now or at the start of next week.
It now.
But the heartbeat, I think the
now.
heartbeat makes it good for now.
Oh, fun.
Oh, Captain Elliot, you found the only way to not take sanity damage. That is a critical success.
Wow.
Do I get
Nicely
any sanity back?
Probably not.
Seeing dead people makes you feel a lot better.
At least the massacre is something he's used to dealing with, you know, army.
I'm starting to get used to it by this point. I'm kind of completely blasé about it. Bodies.
Whatever.
I think the princess only succeeded because she saw this coming.
And Alida is not in the room.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Is there a dead
Let's
soul?
see. 9 if you failed, 5 if you passed. Nothing for Captain Elliot.
Dr. Roy throws up.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Oh boy.
That is entirely fair.
And to be honest with you, I don't blame you.
I don't think anybody does.
I did warn you about the door.
Yeah, I feel like Irene would probably faint at this.
Probably true. Actually, you can make me a constitution if you think you might actually pass out if you're holding it together or not.
Okay.
Okay. You pull yourself together. I mean, you lose the sanity.
Well, I
but
lose,
You don't pass out. There's a little, but you grab hold of something or someone and you're up.
On the
I think you
bright
were gonna
side-
pass out, but then you saw Fiero puke on the floor, and you're like, probably
Yeah,
not.
no.
I gotta be tougher than that dude, at least.
Damn, and there are no
Just
servants
kidding.
left to clean all that shit up.
There's one. And there's at least one.
Honey,
What?
on the bright side.
Trust me, Jeeves isn't doing it.
Murphy might, if you ask him nicely.
Murphy, I don't think so, somehow.
At the end of
Probably
the
not.
session, we get to roll for luck.
You do get to roll
Yes.
for luck. You roll
we
a luck
also
check.
It's not. We don't get to roll for sanity, do we?
No,
No.
you have to spend time with your treasured person or item and tell me how it's helping you regain sanity.
I failed to roll for luck, so I don't get any luck back.
No, me too.
Accurate.
Eh.
Those of you that succeeded get to roll a d10 to see how much luck you return to yourself. I'll stop with the heart. It just seemed so fitting.
No, it was a good touch.
All right, that is some people regaining some luck.
Sadly, not me.
Yeah, my sanity went down real fast in this one.
I
I
know.
had a lot to start with. So, well,
I'm
not
actually
too bad.
still
50.
kind of fine.
You're not. Some of you are better than others, but you know.
Is there a tier list for? I'm gonna look up.
I just still have hope, you know.
Yeah, no. At some point, it's amazing though, because at some point you turn paranoid.
Mm.
Yeah, there's all sorts of weird stuff starts to kick in.
It's almost like weird stuff's happening in general.
Mm.
Whoa!
Well, you had a hard session. And I don't mean that as dirty as it came out. Again,
No.
I keep having to reiterate that.
Even without all the anal cavities, it was really hard.
Look, I don't want to discuss what's going on in my pants.
And Dr. Roy's pills.
Yeah.
Lady Montgomery's pills.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
indeed.
Yeah, now Lady Montgomery's.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
All right. I need to thank the people who subbed, but that is our favorite producer, Anthony, and Azorin. So thank you for joining us. Don't forget, we have a Discord, a Patreon, and a whole bunch of merch for the Welcome to the Party channel. Maybe if we're nice to her, Callie will post the artwork she made of Dr. Roy dragging poor Miss Johnson along as they fled across the upper floor in our Discord game channel chat. Same difference.
It is just a sketch, but I'll post it now. So
It was very nicely done.
I liked it.
Although I did make the remark that Dr. Roy looked far too cool for how terrified he is.
When you're 6'5", you kind of just
You always look cool.
Yeah.
Next up on the Welcome to the Party channel is I think Kay again at 8
p.m. Eastern. Yeah. It will be
time zones.
Blades in the Dark.
All right.
Always fun.
Point Nigels. I mean knights. Cough cough.
Cough cough. It's the same as a sword, right? We will go around and have our crumbling players tell us who they are, where you can find them, and I'll give them another chance to tell me how much they love me. Counterclockwise this time. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jenna. And I go by Philly Girl JL on Discord, Twitter, and Instagram. I am most active on Instagram though, and it's beauty, books, and geekery is my tagline because that's basically what I post about. So my 3 favorite things in the world. So
all good things.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Callie.
Hey, I'm Callie. I go by Calliope with a 0 for the O on both Twitter and on Patreon, which I now have for if you like D&D or fantasy coloring books and you want to get in on that, then go ahead and check that out. I mostly tweet out D&D and tabletop RPG art and illustration. So check me out if you're interested in that.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Hey, I'm Kate, also known as Undead K on the interwebs. You can find me at Twitter at K_undead. And again, I'll be here in a few more hours, or a few hours from now.
Forever.
Yes. Wednesdays. And yeah, no, this is great. Really great session. Glad you put it together. So thank you. And yeah.
You're welcome. I actually had the horrible murder of Nathaniel planned for last week, but I had to move some things around because I can't kill Nathaniel and not have Miss Johnson around for this.
Yeah.
Lana.
Yeah. Hi, Lana. You can follow me as Lana Leesvoer, which is Dutch, so just read what it says. On Twitter, I talk about RPGs, politics, feminism, the works. And on Instagram, you can see my children's books illustrations, which are apparently cute, they tell me.
And squirrel themed.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
All the
and also, I would love to say how glorious our keeper looks today. And this kind of glow and she talks, my mood improves. She's just so was that enough, honey?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
that's what I needed to hear. Thank you. Simon.
Hi, I'm Simon, or I'm Cy on Discord. Cy to my friends. At D Dark Weaver on Twitter, which I'm never on anyway, but you're welcome to tweet out to me. Come and chat with us on Discord. Thank you very much to our producer and also our lovely keeper.
You are welcome, and I'm sure Anthony loves us as well.
Thank you, Anthony.
I'm gonna get a t-shirt that says my keeper's better than yours.
Right?
I would absolutely love it if you did that. You might actually make it to the end. I said from the very start, I am open to bribery. I've been very honest about this.
You'll make it to the end. You'll be a gibbering idiot by the time you get there.
Look, drooling in a corner is a valid motive for Call of Cthulhu.
That'd be no change for me, so.
My name is Aniek. You can find me at Aniekster on Twitter. I have an Instagram, but I don't think I've used it in the last year. I'm amazing. Let's just be honest about it. But also amazing is Anthony, who is our producer and keeps our cameras rolling and the tech goblins in their place.
The keeper of the keeper's cameras.
Exactly. Yes. And he is going to make sure we go and raid one of our friends at Armor Class 0, which doesn't sound good unless you're actually still playing AD&D. where lower was better because it made sense in the 80s, I suppose, when everyone was on acid. Yeah, weird math, weird people, much metal, much drinking, lots of hairspray. We are going to go say hello to Armor Class 0. There is a message to copy paste into their chat. And bearing that in mind, we will see you next week when we will find out if you can, in fact, leave Salisbury Hall.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll
You
be
can
fine.
certainly try.
You can certainly try. Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye, all.
See you, folks.
Be nice to each other.